A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people tried to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. But y'all want to make it about...
Smith argued that the WNBA had lost its biggest attraction when Caitlin Clark went down, pointing out that viewership had plummeted and that the league needed to recognize just how vital she was to its success. His comments weren't just casual observations, they were a call to action. Smith urged the WNBA to do more to protect and promote players like Clark to keep the league's momentum alive, but Sue Bird wasn't having it. She publicly pushed back on Smith's remarks, saying he was wrong to pin the decline in playoff ratings solely on Clark's absence. Bird argued that other factors were at play and that the excitement surrounding the postseason shouldn't hinge on one player. Her response sparked a fierce debate among fans and analysts. On one side, supporters of Smith insisted that Caitlin Clark was the driving force behind the WNBA's surge in popularity. On the other, Bird and her defenders maintained that the league was, and had to be, bigger than any single player, even one with Clark's star power.
Caitlin Clark has created more buzz around the basketball landscape and has actually transformed and revived a league that was the WNBA, and she is getting paid a measly $28 million.
Sue Bird kept pushing back against Stephen Smith, doubling down on her claim that Caitlin Clark's absence wasn't the main reason behind the WNBA's ratings decline, even as the numbers told a different story. Fans found her stance frustrating because the data was hard to ignore. Viewership soared when Clark was on the floor and dipped sharply when she wasn't. The energy around the playoffs clearly faded after her exit, yet Bird refused to acknowledge what many saw as undeniable. Caitlin Clark wasn't just part of the league's success, she was driving it.
Don't y'all want a greater profile? Don't y'all want more notoriety? Don't y'all want more hype? I understand that it's going on still without her, now that she's out of the playoffs, because the games have been great. But the fact of the matter is, she swelled the interest in the sport.
As the debate over Caitlin Clark's impact intensified, Sue Bird's refusal to acknowledge her influence began to strike a deeper chord with fans. Many felt that the WNBA's veterans were increasingly out of touch with the league's reality. Supporters who had been drawn in by Clark's electrifying play now felt alienated by the very legends they once admired. Bird, long regarded as a mentor figure for younger players, seemed to some to be dismissing the rise of the new generation. It raised uncomfortable questions: was the WNBA ready to evolve, or was it clinging to the past? What made the situation even more confusing was the league's own reluctance to fully recognize what was obvious from the start. Caitlin Clark wasn't just another talented player, she was something entirely different.
Caitlin Clark effect is definitely real. I mean, we can all see that. However, experiencing it in person is totally different. I was at the Fever in Indiana game last night, and the amount of 22s that I saw on the way to the arena and inside the Capital One arena might as well have just been a home game for Caitlin Clark. Not Indiana, Caitlin Clark. The thing is, that didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was how packed the game.
Clark's games consistently drew massive crowds, and her unprecedented social media presence, combined with her ability to genuinely connect with fans, set her apart from nearly everyone else in the league. Yet the WNBA seemed strangely hesitant to fully embrace the Caitlin Clark effect. Whether due to internal politics, jealousy from veteran players, or a reluctance to admit how much one star could shape the league's fortunes, the WNBA failed to capitalize on the surge of attention Clark created. Rather than positioning her as the face of the league, officials seemed content to let her success unfold on its own, without the backing of their promotional machine. That hesitation came at a cost. As soon as Clark exited the playoffs, the league's viewership and engagement began to fall sharply.
Stephen A., respectfully, with your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
All right, we gotta go.
Stephen A., I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Really appreciate
missed, my girl, but you've missed a lot of episodes.
By failing to fully recognize the Caitlin Clark effect, the WNBA missed a rare opportunity to expand its fan base and solidify its place in the broader sports landscape. Now, the league finds itself facing declining ratings, frustrated fans, and limited publicity for its biggest events. Its reluctance to embrace Clark's star power has left it in a vulnerable position that could be difficult to recover from. Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith remains one of Clark's most vocal defenders. While others in the media have downplayed or dismissed her impact, Smith has repeatedly called out what he sees as an effort to undermine her. He's pointed to how opponents have targeted Clark with excessive fouls and how the league itself has been slow to give her the recognition she deserves, both on the court and in its own promotional efforts.